Hey, Dash, not that I care, but you okay?
Alright. I want to discuss a couple things that have been on my mind for the past 4 to 5 years. Ever since high school ended, it's just kind of been a blur, and life has kind of blended into each other. I'm sure a lot of YouTube channels that you probably watch has discussed the same topics on repetition, where after high school it just kind of feels like there's nothing. Like, what now? And even high school itself was a blur. I didn't really get along socially very well with many people. Junior year, a lot of the people that I sat next to, they just all kind of like faded. You have the lonely lunch table, and then you're like, well, I'd rather just go to a different room and eat lunch, because you're just going to be seen as the weird kid if you're just sitting by yourself all the time. So I just took myself and ate in a different break room. But I did want to touch on just how life is just eating away at most people nowadays, in Gen Z, millennials, boomers. I mean, not so much boomers, but even Gen Alpha. You're seeing like all the corruption of the youth, where nobody's really getting along with each other. It's not like it once was when you were a kid and everybody would go out and ride bikes. Everybody would just hang. They'd all play ball. They get excited over like Johnny Test and fucking Super Mario Galaxy. What happened to those days, man? What happened? Where did all that time go? And I miss all that time greatly. Like, I just, I'm in the shower and I have all these memories that just keep flooding back, and I don't have many friends, or I guess I do, or I did have friends, but everybody's separated. Like, the group chats are very inactive with like everybody that I talk to. My old friend groups, the ones that I grew up with in elementary school, and the ones that I used to play games with all the time. We used to hang out IRL. Everybody's drifted apart in that sense. Other friend groups there's just too many people in that group, and it's like hard to have a one-on-one with people because it's the constant trying to talk over each other. And then I have a work friend group, people that I met recently, but the way I met my work friend is I wouldn't speak unless spoken to. And that's exactly what happened. So eventually we kicked it off. We had similar interests. We both like the fucking nerd shit, like anime and whatnot, but that's besides the point. Despite making all these friends and having all these people that you would know on fucking Xbox Live and all these old dudes that you used to talk to, no one talks anymore. No one goes out of their way to really hang out. And it sucks. It sucks because everybody's caught up in busy shit. They're caught up with their significant others. They're caught up with bills. It's just a very lonely world for a lot of the modern men. And of course, no one's really going to care. I mean, all you really have is yourself at the end of the day. So people will get jaded. They'll prioritize, money. And then you see all these scams and all these grifts on YouTube. But I wanted to discuss my channel name. And the reason that I call it The Beautiful Ones. There's this experiment called Mouse Utopia. And it was showing by some guy in like the 60s. I forget if it's the 60s or the 80s, but he basically ran this experiment where, it's basically like Chicago Simulator, where you put all these people in this dense city, and all these mice they thrived at first, and they had like a boom, like the baby boomers, and society was just on the up and up, but then eventually it capped out. There was a cap. People stopped giving, or the mice stopped giving birth, and they stopped having kids. But the crazy shit about it is that it describes a lot of where we're at today, like the Zoomers or Gen Z. I put the Z at the end of the beautiful one, the beautiful ones, but with a Z. It's stupid, but Gen Z is the beautiful one. Gen Z is a lot like the mice from the experiment. And forgive me if I sound like absolutely fucking terrible. I'm like stuttering over my words and shit when I talk, but that's mostly because, I don't really speak to any people like during my work. It's a very isolated job. You don't really talk to people throughout the day, and I don't really talk to many people even on the weekends. That's a rare thing for me. The only time I'll get to practice any form of speech is if I'm just hanging out with a friend that one Saturday, and it's usually over Discord. So I'm very bad at expressing myself, even though I used to love doing voices on fucking Xbox and Call of Duty and Search and Destroy. I'm pretty good with impressions, but I don't feel like I can express any of that very often. And it's really sad, to be honest. I want to be a social creature. I don't want to be stuck in my room, just meandering with my thoughts, and everyone's busy, and I don't want to ask anybody to hang out because you get let down. And a lot of people ghost, and a lot of people, they got better things to do. I'm stuck in my own little bubble, and I'm sure it's the same for like a lot of you guys. Everybody, when they don't have very many friends, they'll just put time into work, or if their wife fucking hates them or something, then they'll sink more time into work, like my dad does. But you know, I mean, everybody just kind of finds a reason to hate people after the ages of like 22, man. It just, everybody gets so isolated, and it's a society that's going to breed something that's even worse. And that's why I talk about the beautiful ones, is because those mice from the experiment, they were just grooming themselves. They were just, jerking off all day. They're just fucking doing nothing. They weren't trying to get with chicks like in the modern day. Like no one thinks there's even a chance to get married. And I stand by that statement. Like no one, it's playing into a trap. And the whole society is, collapsing because of that. It's like what you see in China. It's like America is pretty much headed exactly where China's at. Like the birth rate is just declining. All the women are becoming wine moms and fucking getting pit bulls and shit. But, it's besides the point. But lately I've been so bored, man. I've been so bored. I have all these games. They just collect dust. They sit on the shelf in my fucking Steam. And I don't even have the energy to want to play them because it's like, you gotta be like unemployed to enjoy the fucking game. Because when you go to sleep, it's on your mind the next day when you wake up, and then you just want to like, feed into the cycle over and over and keep playing the game. But that's a cycle that I have not fed into in quite a bit of time. The last time I remember playing a game and really just enjoying it is when I was moving, because we were getting like kicked out of the place because my mom's a fucking chimney. I don't know if I should even touch on that, but we were getting kicked out, and for that month all we did was really like pack up, and I got to take extensive like 2 months, give or take, or like 45 days off of work because of this whole moving shabacle. But that's when Breath of the Wild came out, and that's when everyone was stressed. We were all looking for a place. We couldn't find a place. It was like the worst. It was the absolute worst, just going out. But when I did get back, it was just like sink your teeth into Breath of the Wild on all that off time when you weren't trying to move anything or weren't trying to pack anything. Everything was pretty much done, and you just kind of left the rest of the family to take care of their shit. And for a solid month, I played Breath of the Wild, and I woke up every day thinking about the game, and I was just like enjoying the shit out of Tears of the Kingdom. But after that month, you go back into work, and then, man, you just lose the feeling. You just don't want to anymore, because you're like, man, I only have like 2 days to fucking make myself recover for the next week. How am I going to enjoy my time as much as I possibly can? And you rather just prioritize fucking other shit. You rather fucking jerk off. And it's sad because, you don't want to. You don't want to do all this fucking nonsense type of shit if you're prioritizing your mental health and all your fucking shit. You just rather rot those 2 days that you have off, the minuscule time that you have to recover and then go back to work. You feel like you just rather watch YouTube or rather fucking do the easy shit that doesn't take a lot of brain power. You're like conserving energy, and it sucks. You want to spend time doing the hard shit. You want to fucking get ahead in that sense, but it's so hard to put yourself and make yourself output that. And that's what irks me about, everybody just having jobs. You feel like everybody's deprioritizing others, deprioritizing you, the relationships. Some people are just have rich families and they become neats. I'm jealous for those people because they get to live essentially that month when we were moving and looking for a different place. But they got to enjoy all these different games every day. And I have to work this fucking job and buy groceries that cost $300 fucking. Sick of the cycle. We're not really getting anywhere. We're just kind of waiting for things to fucking blow up. And it's gonna get worse before it ever gets better is what it feels like. And man, I'm just a sad human being that's just talking to the void, hoping for something to listen. I watch a lot of Black Pill channels. I watch a lot of these Doomer channels. They all talk about all this stuff. I'm a big fan of DBDR. I like all of his stuff. I relate to him heavily because my life is in similar. Our lives are in tatters, man. And being born with like a certain hand that you're given at birth, and it's just something that fucks you up, man. It shapes the way it molds you like fucking clay. You don't have any choice but to fucking deal with the hands you're dealt, I feel like I'm retarded sometimes because I see all these like grifts and people getting rich off the fucking stock market, or people getting rich off fucking Amazon reselling or whatever, or I can't really tell what is and isn't a scam. You see all the bot comments, you see all the people like saying the shit to fucking get a link or whatever the fuck, and that's all over Instagram. But sometimes I can't actually tell what's fucking real or not, because you see all these people and it's not like their Lambos are collecting dust. They're making money somehow. Are they really making money from like an Instagram account that has like 100,000 followers off of it? Does that really generate that much profit? I don't know what the move is to escape this rat race that is this fucking mouse utopia, because I really want out. I'm just so fucking retarded. That's what it is. I'm retarded. I just don't know what to do, and I'm too retarded to like utilize all these tools that I've got in front of me that technology has provided. I feel like a fucking boomer. I'm an idiot, man. But I can never tell if anything is a scam or if it's just the rich parents or something. But it gets me feeling like, why the fuck am I working at a 9 to 5 when all these scammers are making bajillions of dollars and all these fucking OnlyFans girls are making millions of fucking dollars upon millions of dollars? They're paying their rent like it's nothing. They're getting all their shit funded to them. It makes me really jealous. I wish life was that easy. I wish you just got things handed to you, but the cards you're dealt just feel like a fucking zombie that's only being kept alive. I feel like I'm just getting pumped with fucking Adderall and caffeine and go out there and slave away for 10 hours and come back and pop a melatonin, retard. I'm just a big fucking slave to all this entire system. And I honestly don't know a way out. I don't know a way out. Like nothing that I do really gives me any positive results. Like the only thing you can really see that with is shit in gaming. You become addicted to what you're good at. And you see the positive reinforcement shapes you to keep doing that very thing. That's why so many people play games, because you're down to get better at the shit you have control over. Like going to the fucking gym and getting jacked. I mean, that's shit you have control over. Probably the only shit in your life that you have control over. It's good to see that there's still something. There's still something that you have control over. Not everything is complete chaos, but even that being said, you got this slave job. You're not going to have all the time to spend that you want in the fucking gym, playing your games or fucking doing whatever, watching your shows before you go to bed. It just sucks. But I'll leave it here for now. If you want to see any more content, I want to talk more. I need to boost this channel. I need to, do something to get it lifted off the ground. But I love all my Black Pill brothers. I love all y'all. You don't even know how I sympathize with all of you guys. It's been a good one.